Welcome to another edition of Healthier, Happier You. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. My co-host is Bethany Montecalvo. We're here on a nice sunny day in Pittsburgh. It's a little chilly.
Yep.
I left my polo at home. I brought this out, but you know what? I got to take my traditional sip.
Of course you do, buddy.
Green tea,
Of course you do.
organic lemon, turmeric, a little Himalayan salt.
That's right, get it done. There you go.
I'm ready to start talking Healthier, Happier You tips. We want to thank you for all the likes on our page. We appreciate gaining them there.
Yes.
And we're getting a lot of good
Yes.
feedback. They wanted to see the next show. I'm
Yeah,
hearing from a
that's
bunch
pretty
of people.
exciting.
So,
Yeah.
Bethany, how are you today?
I'm awesome. I feel blessed today. Good day, a little bit chilly, but the sun is shining. We don't get that many sunny days, so
No.
I'm pretty happy about it.
That's good. You have to follow the loose leaf green tea weather report.
I know. Like I said, Facebook, it confused me a little bit. Like some days, buddy, I get on and I see I wake up to your tea
Oh,
post.
thank you. Another
And I'm
fan.
like, of course I am. And then other days you're not there. But then you explained what Facebook does.
I'm there every day.
You're there, rain or shine, no matter what.
Yes,
I
just
just
like
gotta
the
look
song,
for
Rain
ya.
or Shine, a
Rain or
jazz song.
shine. Yeah, that's right.
No
That's
doubt.
right.
Hey, what do you have to talk about today? Because you're all excited about, you mentioned a word to me that's
Yes.
one of my favorite words in my tea.
Yes,
And
I
food.
thought, well, I had to change your heart, especially with, the guests that you brought on. I was like, how about turmeric? I was like, let's chat about that because it can be used in beauty, internally, externally, cooking, so many things.
I know I'm going to learn a few things because I've read about it, but I use it all the time.
Well, tell me, I kind of wanted to start off like with you. I know you
Okay.
do it in your tea, and that's a certain taste. It really is. Because some people, guys, I'm just being honest, you do got to be you're kind of veteran with that, so the taste doesn't bother you.
Well, people used to tease me because I eat a lot of plain things.
Yeah.
But I also like spicy things.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh,
So I mix it up.
Yeah.
With turmeric, it has an odd flavor.
Yeah,
It's
it
actually
does.
nicer in your food because you can season it up.
True. Yeah, yeah.
And I do that, but first with the tea, I found out I'll do like maybe 2 teaspoons a day because I drink between 6 and 12 cups.
Right. No
And
big deal. 6 and
No,
12. Nah.
it's minor. And I found
Yeah.
out you should add black pepper to it because that helps you get all the good things.
Circulation and yeah.
With that. It's a great synergy with those two. So that's in my second or third cup of green tea. I put that in there. So
Is that a kick? That's a kick. That black pepper. Do you put just a little bit?
I do
just
like with my grinder,
it.
just grind a little.
Yeah.
Grind, and I got to watch some of the pieces, but I'm
Right.
unusual. I'll eat it. That's why I'm a
Yeah.
health nut at this time.
You're willing to do it. Gotta do. To be
Exactly.
healthy.
And what I found out
makes
is,
sense.
as I get advanced in my age, I don't have that soreness that people talk about. And if, say,
That's
I worked
amazing.
hard or worked harder the day before, night before,
Yeah.
I'll get up and maybe I'm a little stiff, but I'll have that cup
Yeah.
after my first original cup of green tea because I
Right.
like the flavor.
Right.
And even white tea and red tea, etc.
There you go. Yeah.
Mix it up. But actually, my knuckles and elbows and
Truly,
joints,
truly.
yeah, knees, I don't have that pain. And I was an
Yeah,
athlete and
that's
suffered
awesome.
injuries, but
Yeah.
it helps. So then I started going to food because I put coconut oil and cook with my veggies. and
Yeah,
add
that's
that in, which
right.
helps just about everything.
Yes.
So I like spicy things
Yeah.
and cayenne peppers and other peppers,
Mm-hmm.
mix it up. So I was throwing turmeric in because it's in curry a lot. So, it's a little spicy.
Yeah.
So I'll mix it in there, a little bland at times and
Yeah.
a little spicy. And I notice different meals that I have, I'm getting
Yeah.
extra turmeric plus the other good things. And
That's
That's
awesome.
some of my routine there.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I love that. I was kind of always scared to cook with it because the flavor.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind throwing it back, but to cook with it, it kind of made me a little bit scared.
Sure.
But then I went over to my sister's house, and her and her husband, they're really good with incorporating. You know how some people just have the gift of able to a dash of this, a dash of that.
I have
and then
some
you're
of that.
fine. Yeah, you're. It seems like you're really good at that. I am not. I'm like, okay, fast, easy recipe, put this in, 4th teaspoon this, blah, blah, blah. Or my sister makes all these concoctions with turmeric and peas and like certain types of mushrooms.
Right.
And she'll like throw a couple sauces in, and I'm like, this is amazing.
And almost like saute it and have it all congeal
Let it
in a nice
marinate
little...
in. And I'm like, wow, I'm like missing out. I got to use some of her tips. But every morning when I do my organic eggs, I love I love cayenne pepper. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
And I put it on top of my eggs. I put a little turmeric on there. I put a little black pepper on there. Because I'm learning, like, rather, I could go without Dead Sea salt as long as I have a little kick.
Sure, but
Is that
try
kinda
the
how you are?
Himalayan salt.
Yeah.
That's what's even better. I even
The
have
pink?
extra if you need it.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll donate some
Thank
to your
you.
cause.
I'm out. So when I was out,
Are
I
you
was being
really?
lazy, and I was like, I'll just use some other things.
No, but it's just great.
That's
Because
awesome.
of all the minerals
Yeah.
that it has in there, like 80 different minerals.
I see, like, and I liked it when I was at one of my friend's house from Texas. They just have a little bowl always of Himalayan pink sea salt, just out that you could pinch and just put it, just because, like you said, all the minerals. So I like it a lot.
No,
but
that's good. And with eggs, I didn't know you were a big egg person.
eggs and peas.
Well,
I know
peas,
that's gross.
I'm not a pea person. Well, I mean, the green peas.
Right,
I can
right.
eat snow peas and everything else. There's only 2 veggies that I don't eat.
Tell me.
Beets
Okay.
and peas.
Beets and peas.
So, here's
Why
what
don't you like peas, though? What's
Well,
wrong with
I don't know. It's one of the few things. I eat everything else. You name it. If it's something new, I'll eat it.
Right,
it's
you're
fine.
for it.
But with eggs, what I do is I'll make an omelet. So I mix it
Yes.
up, and guess what I put in there as I'm mixing the omelet?
What?
Turmeric.
There you go.
And I put that in, and I put the pepper and
Yeah.
whatever other,
Yeah.
even some coconut oil, what's in my cast iron frying pan. So I put that,
Nice.
so I got all the healthy ingredients.
Right,
plus
everything
that.
in there.
Then I put sometimes broccoli, spinach,
Throw it all in
red
there.
colored peppers, different
Yeah.
colors. So it
Yeah.
depends. I have to watch because I put too many veggies
Too
in
much
there.
in. Never too
Tomatoes.
many veggies.
Well, I eat that stuff all day because I like it. But I like what you're doing.
Yeah, it's
that.
just like a little different. I got into omelets because I don't do dairy, but the diet cheese that I found, it looks like provolone. It like melts.
You had talked about that once before.
Oh, it's so good, buddy. It's so good.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. And then I put my peas. It's like, you know how we have our morning ritual? That's kind of mine. Like, I gotta have my eggs, whether it's omelet or whether it's like over easy, with my
Sure.
peas and a little kimchi. I love me
Really?
some kimchi. So
Kimchi's good.
Yeah. So it gives a little kick. And I never was a spicy gal, but like I kind of like it.
As
now.
you mature, you
As
get
I
spicier.
mature, I like a little bit of spice in my foods.
I need
Yes,
another
I
drink.
agree.
You're making me hungry with all
Let's
of it.
see, right? I know. I am getting a little bit hungry.
I might have to make a lunch like that.
Right? Who cares? I can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love it. I love eggs.
Well,
I
we're
can eat all
similar
the
like
time.
that. I've made my 4-egg omelet because I'm a
Yes.
4-egg omelet guy.
I do 3 eggs, 3 egg whites. So
that's
every day.
like 4, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, just switch it up. Well, my sister just got, how cool is this? She got a handmade chicken coop, but it's like the Ritz Carlton one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it is just gorgeous. It's 2 levels.
She has her own
and
chickens.
She's getting her own chickens.
That's
and I said, I better be
fantastic.
getting some free eggs out of that because, you know, they're going to be organic.
They'll put out eggs.
Right.
And you know they're eating right.
Yes, exactly. And then I won't have to, you know, I'm willing to pay expensive for my eggs because I know it's really important because of all the crap that they feed the chickies. But I would like free eggs, right?
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
I like your
Yeah.
style today.
Thank
you
you.
surprised me. I thought you were going to
Thank
talk something
you.
else. You gave me the misdirection
Right,
play.
right.
You threw me the curveball in baseball
I
season.
know. Do you love
I like it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I knew that you were really into turmeric.
see
and
how
that
much
you
I
like-
am.
Yeah. I
More
was
than you
like,
thought, I
let's chat
think.
about this. Yeah. And it also is very good for beauty. One of the biggest things I do with a lot of my clients, a lot of ladies, we all complain about dark circles. It just happens. Some people have them, some people don't. But if you have dark circles, what can you do? It's really cool. If you have a little bit of pineapple juice, and if you're using this, I do suggest doing this 2 times a week. You do need the pineapple juice. You don't need to get the big carton of it. You can get the little disposable
Get
ones,
out.
little tiny ones. I just crack one
Beauty
open.
tip coming up right now.
Beauty tip with Bethany, Health and Beauty by Bethany. And you can put it in your mason jar, and I just leave that in the fridge. It doesn't go bad for quite a long time. And then you're putting about a teaspoon of that, and then you're putting 1/4 of a teaspoon of just the raw turmeric in there, and it's the powder form.
Really?
And it gets a little bit pasty, and you just have to pat it underneath the eyes. Guys, it's really good for guys too. It's a natural brightener. So turmeric's really awesome because it's even out the skin. It brightens the skin. It does really amazing things for the skin. But the downside is be prepared that it will stain your skin for a little bit. But I like it because I'm so pale that it makes me look tan a little bit.
It'll enhance my color.
It'll give you a little bit more color. Who cares if it looks like a carrot, right?
Exactly.
But no, that's okay. But it's wonderful and it works
What a
really
great
well.
tip.
Right?
Tell them that again, just to
So,
emphasize that.
what you need for fine lines and wrinkles, or if you're having dark circles, you just need a little bit of pineapple juice and 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric. Mix it together, make a nice little paste. You can pat it underneath your eyes. Leave it there for 15 to 20 minutes, 2 times a week, and it will help dark
Turmeric
circles
to the rescue.
all the way. Yeah, all the way.
Bethy, that's awesome.
Right?
We only
And
got a couple minutes.
We do. Well,
Because we got so much information we pumped
We're
up.
like
What else?
bursting here. We're
Yeah.
like, let us tell you everything we know. But it's really interesting because as we know, we all know, like you said, for your joints, it's anti-inflammatory.
Sure.
But it's also really good for digestion problems as well.
Oh,
but
yes.
even more, which is interesting, and I'm uneducated on this because I would love to know more, but they're showing more and more with cancer studies how important this is. But this is what I don't understand. And I know it's hard for us we have to get educated on ourselves, but it's tough because these natural things are doing such great things for the body, but how much do you take?
Exactly.
How are you taking it? Is it internally? Is it topically? Or is it intravenously? Well, what are you doing? So it's really interesting as years just progress.
We're going to research that for another show.
We're going to find someone, darn it,
Yes.
that used it, or is a doctor that's familiar with it, did a
And
study.
I'll experiment on myself.
Exactly,
No problem. It's all
right?
healthy.
Right?
And that's why green
So-
tea is an anti-cancer,
is.
antibacterial,
Yeah.
antiviral, coconut oil. So
Yeah.
I'm loading up on
There's
all
so
those.
many cool
Antioxidants, berries.
They said, Jamie, you know Jamie,
Yes,
she's
I
on
know
here.
Jamie.
She said B13. We were watching this thing online, and they said high amounts of B13, and we're like, well, where the heck do you find B13? So Jamie's like Googling, and she was like, mung beans. You could get them,
I
and
love
you can
them.
get them sprouted, and I started putting them in my veggies, and they're great.
Now,
So
that's awesome.
power of knowledge, right?
You know what? We could keep talking, but we have
We
a
can.
great guest. Cindy
know.
Rack of Bethel Park, a good friend of mine, is a cancer survivor and a hero of mine. Wait until you hear her story coming up right now. Hi, everybody. Al Levine, the Talking Machine here. Guess what time it is? It's time for the second annual Designer Bag Bingo. Join us Friday, May 6th at the Bethel Park Community Center. Doors open at 6:30 p.m.
Tickets are $25 each and are available at the Bethel Park Public Library.
And at Evie True Value Hardware.
Proceeds from the Designer Bag Bingo benefit the Bethel Park Volunteer Scholarship Fund, administered through the Bethel Park Community Foundation. The bags are on display at the Bethel Park Public Library if you'd like to get a peek at them before the event.
For more information, call 412-831-3304.
Join us May 6th for the second annual Designer Bag Bingo.
All I wanted was just one book. Thanks for returning to Healthier, Happier You. We have a great friend of mine and now a hero because she's a cancer survivor. This is Cindy Rack, our featured guest on Healthier, Happier You. Bethany's still with us. She's going to join in, but she said, hey, buddy, you ask away.
That's right.
Cindy, first question is, what type of cancer did you have?
I had estrogen dominant stage 1 breast cancer.
Okay. And this is like an epidemic. I know so many
Yes.
people with that, and some are even having not just breast cancer, but uterine cancer and lymph nodes as a combination. So this shocked you, obviously.
Well, yeah, it was New Year's Eve 2013, so Happy New Year's.
Wow.
You have breast
You
cancer.
have to be kidding me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So I immediately, you just panic like everybody
Yes.
does. And I had my surgery scheduled right away for a lumpectomy. And then I went to see an oncologist.
Sure.
And he informed me that they wanted to put me on this drug called Arimidex.
Okay.
And I just thought to myself, when he said to me, well, it does cause weight gain and it causes joint pain, and actually it actually causes osteoporosis, so we want to put you on a drug called Prolia that's a shot that we inject for 6 months in your body.
So 2 drugs.
Yeah, so I just said to myself, something just doesn't sound right about this, because I said, what does the Arimidex do? And he said, what stops all estrogen production in your body for 5 years, because since your cancer was estrogen dominant, we want to stop it so that no other cancer could feed on it. And I just thought, that doesn't sound right, to just completely stop estrogen production in your body for 5 years and then get osteoporosis on top of it. And I looked up the osteoporosis drugs, and they were, not as very good. They were all bisphosphonates, and they're not good for your body. So I decided, when I did some research, and I was online all the time. I found books. This is one of my favorite books, Never Be Sick Again.
Hold that up.
This was a great book, and I just did lots of research, and I read, because you can't take the drugs until after your radiation. So I did choose to get radiation.
So you got chemo.
No, I did not have chemo.
You had the
radiation. I had the
radiation.
radiation. And so you had 6 weeks. I had 19 treatments. And I don't know if I'm glad I did that or not, but I did, and it's over. And
did it take your energy level down? Like, did you feel drained or
Well,
no?
I did a little bit, but I had already started this process. See, I found out that the estrogens, that were in my body was not regular estrogen. They're called xenoestrogens, and they come from all the products and pesticides. And so I found that if I eliminated all of those, that I would eliminate all that bad estrogen, because it comes in as xeno means alien. It comes in and your body thinks it's estrogen, then it gets into your cells and destroys it.
You went very deep.
I went very deep. I actually went one day, got a large garbage can, and I went through every part of my house, and I threw away everything. I threw away cleaning products, plastic containers. I threw away all my expensive perfumes, my makeup, my hairspray, my shampoos, my body lotions, creams, everything. I just threw them all away in a big garbage can, and I started from scratch.
Was that when you learned what we put on our body, because our skin is the largest organism and it just feeds and absorbs everything? Were you like, wow, like everything I've been putting on for years and years?
I mean, I would
absorbing.
slather my body with body lotion every day, and then you figure a woman, by the time she leaves her bedroom in the morning, she probably has about 20 pounds of chemicals on her. Literally, by the time you shampoo, body soap, setting gel, hairspray, all the different makeup that you put on, your perfume, your body lotion, all of that, and then when you get downstairs and eat, and it's in all the pesticides, right? That just and all the food. Yeah. So I started to eat all organic. I gave up dairy and sugar and soy and gluten all overnight.
Can you explain to the listeners why? Because a lot of people are like, why did you feel called to do that?
Well, the problem is that your dairy products, gluten, all your dairy products, so that's your yogurt, your milks, right? And even your meat, because the dairy comes from a cow, right? They feed them all these hormones, right, that have all these fake estrogen in it, which is bad for you, and they feed them a lot of antibiotics, and whatever the cow is eating, you're eating. So all those antibiotics are going into your body, which are hurting your gut, and then all the steroids that they feed them are going into you, and all the fake estrogen that they're feeding them, and all the food that they feed them, they put it in the feed also, right? So that's all coming into my body, and I just needed to stop that, and instantly, I was overnight, because you hear the C word. No, because you hear
like
cancer, and you're just like, I want to live. I have a granddaughter; she's 2.5. I mean, I want to be around. I don't want to die. So I just decided I needed to take drastic measures. And what's interesting, and then soy is all estrogen, and 90% of it is genetically modified. So I cut that out, and sugar just feeds cancer. That's like the worst thing.
You're
it's
preaching to the
inflammation,
everything, with
everything,
right?
So
go girl.
Sugar.
And then gluten. Well, we all know that gluten is not a good thing right now. Right. So actually at first I gave up meat too. And I became a complete vegan. Everything
like overnight.
Overnight.
Wow, that's huge.
And
that's huge.
Well, here's the thing. And within a month, maybe 6 weeks, I dropped 20 pounds. all the toxins were out of my body, so I was feeling great.
How did you know the toxins were out?
Because I was
Could
just
feel
feeling
it
so
and tell.
good. You know, I mean,
You
you
were
can tell.
energized now.
Oh, I felt like I was 20 years younger.
Well, I'm doing this for other people
Yeah,
too,
oh,
because
yeah,
they're going
it
to watch
was
this
great.
show and they're like, "What do you mean by that?"
Oh, I felt like I would, in the mornings, I used to get out of bed and, you know, you're stiff, you know,
Yep.
your elbows are stiff, your knee, and I would jump out of bed in the morning before the alarm. Okay.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome
aboard is
it's
all
great.
I can say.
Yeah, it's
I know
wonderful.
that feeling.
Yeah, it's great. And so
I
all
love
my
that.
joint pain went away, my acid reflux went away, my hiatal hernia disappeared.
Yeah.
I
Your
dropped
hiatal
20
hernia.
pounds, everything. I mean, I felt like I was 32 years old. I mean, really, I
Wow,
felt fantastic.
kudos to
Yeah,
you,
it was
babe.
really great. And
Yeah.
the interesting part of the whole thing is that my husband, about 5 months into it, I said, Barry, you know, you're always tired and wore out. I said, why don't you try this as a detox for 10 days? Because he actually was going to try the diet with me at the beginning. And I said, I don't expect you to have to go so drastic, just to support me, which was great.
Yeah.
But I said, why don't you do it for 10 days as a detox, right? And he said, okay, and he was begrudgingly doing it. And about 8 days into it, he woke up and he has degenerative disc disease. And he's been in pain for the last 25 years. Every morning he wakes up in pain. Well, he woke up on the 8th day and he had no pain. Like no back pain, rolled right out of bed.
Wow.
And he said, Cindy, I can't believe this. And we realized, well, there's no inflammation. You gave up sugar, you gave up dairy,
Meats,
you gave up
yeah.
gluten, and all of that is very inflammatory in your body. So it's been a year and a half now, and he has no back pain.
Woo! Can you give us a sample so the people can understand vegan? What did you eat, and how did you get your protein? Because a lot of people are
Okay.
like, "Oh, it's
I hear it all the
exhausting."
time.
Yeah.
man.
Well, I did actually introduce meat back in at some point,
Right.
just so you know, because
Right.
I got genetic testing done and found out I need some of the amino acids that are in meat.
Right.
So I only eat grass-fed and free-range organic chicken and grass-fed and wild-caught salmon.
And
But
just to interject real quick, the reason it's so important that you're so educated that you need grass-fed, because nowadays they're not eating grass. So that
Right.
B13 that we need for that vitamin no longer exists.
Right.
So people are like, well, I need
Great
need that vitamin.
Yeah.
No, you don't, unless you're going to eat grass-fed. Okay, I'm
Correct.
sorry. So,
okay,
No,
so
that
what I
was good.
did was
Thank you.
I try. You have to get creative, and I found so many great things to do and to eat. And Pinterest became my new best
Yeah,
friend, which
yeah,
I
yeah.
had never been on Pinterest before this.
I love it.
And I would just type in, vegan this or
Yeah.
whatever. And so
And what happened? What'd you see?
Oh my gosh, I got
Tell me one
some
good
recipes.
thing.
Well,
What's your
one of my
favorite?
favorite recipes.
That's what I wanna hear, 'cause I may
is
try
I
it.
go to Trader
Yeah, right.
Joe's and I buy a bag of organic broccoli.
Yes.
And I put it in a Ziploc bag.
Yes.
Okay.
And I throw in there some extra virgin olive oil, some
Yes.
fresh squeezed organic lemon, some fresh organic garlic, some salt and pepper, and I shake up the bag and I put it in the refrigerator. Now that marinates.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll either make my own hummus or I'll buy some at Trader Joe's, and that is like. Broccoli has protein and everything.
Yeah,
has
it does.
and it's great for cancer because of all the
Yeah.
phytoestrogens that are in it. And it is a great, lunch.
You know
It's
what?
a great
I'm trying
snack.
that.
job.
Cindy,
Yeah.
I'm trying that because
Oh,
I
you'll
buy
love it.
broccoli every week.
Oh, you'll love
Because
it.
men need that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To help keep testosterone and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
A lot of the cruciferous
Yep.
veggies and stuff
Oh,
help
yeah,
us.
definitely.
And I'm anti-soy. I get in arguments with people. You got to have soy. And I go, we get bombarded with estrogen.
Yeah.
Why do you think the men are turning into women? And the women are getting all the cancer and they're
Well, what
leading in
about
heart
men's
disease.
prostate cancer? I mean,
Yeah.
estrogen is a hormone, and prostate is a hormone. It's your men's
And I
hormone.
didn't mean to
Indeed,
divert
right?
from you.
Indeed.
Yeah,
but
that's
this,
true.
we have a lot of different viewers.
Soy is
Oh,
in-
yeah.
We thank you for watching, but we're combining it. But that's why soy is so bad. And,
Right.
and the GMO
And
soy.
soy's in everything. It's that soy lectin in your chips. It's in
Oh, it's in
everything.
everything.
Oh,
So
you
really
even
need to
brought
look.
green tea in.
Yeah,
It has
And we
soy
had
in it.
soy in it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was
That
So-
happened to
Trader
me
Joe.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So we stay with
Yeah.
the loose leaf green tea and
right.
white
Right.
tea and red tea
Right.
and organics.
And
Organics,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I ended up
you
getting
can be
genetic
on here as
testing.
a regular.
I
You're
know.
awesome.
I love this
Jeez,
stuff.
girl, you're awesome.
I
Yeah.
want to teach everybody this, honestly,
Well, this
because
is the
everybody
start.
needs to know.
We got about
Love that.
4 minutes. Can
Okay.
you teach them a short version of maybe a couple meals or things that you do? Or
Yeah, well, first, you really need to not drink out of plastic bottles anymore. You need to get some nice stainless
man.
steel. You need to get some filtered water because there's a lot of chemicals in our water today. The BPA in the plastic bottles has all kind of fake estrogen in it, which is terrible for you. So you need to do that. That's the first thing. And then I would say if you go onto Pinterest or you just Google, different types of recipes, and you just ask for, vegan, vegetable main courses, you'll find all
So it's
kind
that
of
simple?
things. It's that simple.
Okay, because to me, when people make a change, it seems complex. And I like
Right.
to keep things simple because, you're doing something different.
Right.
And then you feel better.
Right.
I think we make it complex
We
because
do.
we're
That's
so
the point.
intimidated by
Right.
it.
Well, I
What did
think
you
the
say?
biggest thing is that
change.
you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
you have to focus on what you can have and not what you can't have.
Yes,
Right.
that's
so
Good point.
you can
Say
have.
that again for the folks out there.
You need to focus on what you can have and not what you can't have. That is
Yeah.
so important
I'm
because
writing
if
that
you
down.
sit there and focus on what you can have, it's going to be a pity party. Oh, woe's me!
you're
I can't
exactly
have
right.
this and I can't. But I found so many substitutes. I find this stuff called monk fruit that you
Yes,
get on
I know.
Amazon that tastes just like sugar and has 0 glycemic index, 0 calories, and I put that in my smoothies and I put it in my tea, as a sugar substitute, and it's a fruit. It's good for
Right.
you,
Yeah.
And
There
I
you
eat
go,
nuts
monk
and
fruit.
seeds and I make my own trail mix for
I want to
types of
interrupt you.
things. Sure.
How do you start your day? With eating or what you drink
Oh,
to
okay.
start?
Well, I
Because
can
I'm a
either
big
start-
guy at the beginning of the day. I detox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
At
eat
the
free
beginning, I
range
have my
organic
routine.
eggs.
Okay.
And I either have a bunch of hard boiled ones in there, and
I do.
this morning I sliced them up with some avocado and
Yeah.
some salt and pepper and hot
That's
sauce.
very cool.
And then
Oh,
I had
that's
some
so
strawberries
good.
I'll
off
be
on the
over,
side.
friend.
It was delicious.
This
No,
is
that
my
sounds
neighbor down the
amazing.
street. Quit
Go
driving
for
past my house.
breakfast. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so that's one.
I'll bring
And then I make
avocados.
my own cereal. Like I'll throw in some nuts.
Yeah.
And some dried organic cranberries you
Yeah.
get at Trader Joe's. I'll throw in some fruit, some frozen raspberries or blueberries organic, and then
Love
I
that.
just pour some almond milk over it.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's delicious.
Go, babe.
It's really delicious.
Can I ask real quick how did this end after, not to switch, I know we have like less than a minute.
Yeah.
But after you did the radiation, then what happened?
Well, I was getting my radiation and I was dropping weight like it was melting off of me. My
Yeah.
whole life I had been struggling with my weight, but once I got rid of all the toxins, the weight just started to melt off my body. And the radiologist said, you can't lose any more weight because we have you all tattooed and everything, and you'll have to get all your X-rays over again. And so I had to really eat a lot to stop losing the weight, but it was
Yeah.
all good food.
Yeah.
Until that was over. And then I
Awesome.
just continued to work it, and it's evolving. Like I got genetic testing, and I think one thing we didn't talk about today was so important that everybody should get genetic testing because I found out some things
And
that
can you
I
do
had
it
no
locally?
idea. You can go on to 23andme.com, 23andme.com,
Okay.
and you can get a test kit. It's $200, and they'll send you it, and then you have to massage it, and then you get a nutritionist, somebody who knows how to read it, and it's just amazing what you'll find out. That could be a whole nother show.
That would
just
be.
on that.
Yeah,
and
that would-
what I want to
yeah.
do is thank Cindy Rack. She's a Bethel Park resident.
Yeah.
She's an entrepreneur. We won't get into everything she does because we'd be in the overtime. I just want to thank you into your health and your
Sure,
continued
thank you.
success. And we will talk privately much more too.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
You're
glad. Thank you for
amazing.
having me here. I
Thank you
appreciate
for sharing
it.
your story.
Sure.
It's amazing.
And
Thank you.
You have a great
Thank
time
you.
and good luck in your future.
All right, thank you very much. You too.
I want to thank everybody for watching our show. We had a strong beginning. Here's more tea to you, turmeric. And we had a great guest on, cancer survivor Cindy Rack, with so much information. She's going to leave us some of the information she does have. And Bethany and her are going to do future things together.
Yes.
Bethany, anything to wrap up here?
I just know, and you know, that we're thankful. We appreciate you guys. We thank you guys for watching. Knowledge is power, and definitely invite other friends to watch us.
And keep liking Healthier, Happier You
Absolutely.
on Facebook. Thank you.